Hi everyone, this is Akanksha Meena, India editor for Labels and Labeling magazine. And for today's coffee chat, I have with me Ankan Adhikary, marketing manager of Libako Packaging. So Ankan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Ankan from Libako Packaging. I'm a trained industrial designer, and I'm now looking into the printing and packaging part of Libako Packaging Private Limited.
Thank you. Libako is a label converting business located in Kolkata. And Ankit has informed me that apart from the label converting business, Libako has a training program for local artisans where they train localites and which often results into entrepreneurship opportunities, business opportunities. So Ankan, can we start by describing the training program? What kind of trainings do people get?
Right. To give you a little background where we are located and again why this story came into place in the first place would
Yeah.
be more interesting to begin with. Let's say it's towards the outskirts of Calcutta towards Sundarban. So what we understand from that region is basically the region uh, is quite underdeveloped in terms of handicraft industry. Bengal, when we understand, it has a lot of craft, a lot of art, a lot of art movements have began from Kolkata, from Bengal, especially from Calcutta, from Shantiniketan. A lot of artists and a lot of interesting, um, let's say, exchange of creative minds have happened from the state. But from the region that where we have set up the plant right now was basically, let's say, a long-term plan which we began, let's say, around 10, 12 years back. And the region where we are right now, uh, it's a very, let's say, a common village kind of environment that we see in the Indian environment or in India. So there people were actually mostly are farmers, fishermen, because there are a lot of water bodies around. So people, their main livelihood is basically from fishes, from agriculture. These are the two main occupation they do have. Along with that, many people who are actually coming to Kolkata for their regular job because it's not very far from the city. So that is already there. But unfortunately, many people nowadays are getting educated and people are really looking forward for a better livelihood, and things have changed a lot. We are really glad about that. But at the same time, in that region specifically, uh, we did not see much of a, let's say, uh, there were a lot of, let's say, small cottage industry, mostly towards the Sundarban area, but not in between that region from the Sundarban and the Kolkata space, because it's, first of all, it's not a tourist spot, nor is it a business center, nor does it have any economic importance. So it was never really looked for. So what we did is basically, once we built this eco space, we actually thought of merging different cultures. And basically, what I mean by cultures is basically bringing various crafts of Bengal into that um, location, and then practicing it first ourselves and seeing the viability and then passing on to the localites. Now, the main purpose for that is basically, as I have told you, that I'm an industrial designer and my father, he himself is a very creative person. So that's the result of the space. Now, again, now going back to the same question, that what kind of training we provide. When I say that we have got all different kind of crafts from Kolkata, from Bengal, so we have got basically handloom. First of all, we have got handloom, which is the traditional Bengali Bengal fabric, taat. Taat. We say taater shari. Basically, it's a type of sari in which the process of taat is used. Basically, in the process of handloom, it's a handloom thing, a cotton, 100% cotton handloom thing.
Okay.
So, with a lot of modernization, a lot of machine looms coming in, handloom was there, but we actually wanted to promoted in that region, and the way the new existence of local handicraft and these handmade products were coming into the larger picture. So we
Mhm.
actually wanted to focus and pass it on to our people. So we have handicraft, basically have, sorry, we have handloom, we have dokra, metal casting, we have clay pottery, and at the same time ceramic, and at the same, and the last would be basically litho press. Litho is
Sorry.
another type of printing. Litho press,
Okay, right.
lithographic press, wood cut printing,
Okay.
and we have organic dyeing process. So basically, for making fabric or perhaps threads is something that we actually look into. So we also grow our own indigo at the same time, through which we process the same thing. So these are the 4 5 activities that we have in the space.
That sounds really interesting. And do you have professional trainers for these activities to train local people who are interested?
Yes, yes. We have an artist named Mr. Alok Shom.
Okay.
Mr. Alok Shom is a multidisciplinary artist based out of Shantiniketan. He have been very closely related with us for the last 15, 20 years, and we have been working parallel with him. So he have been associated with a lot of NGOs in and around India, let's say in India at this point, and he has dedicated his complete life to exchange for exchanging knowledge and wisdom. He's completely a different aura of a person. We don't understand any. He's not a. He's a complete different person. So
Sounds like an
his
interesting
only,
person.
yeah. So he make his one such person is that he loves giving back everything that he has learned. Like all his he's basically now a 60-year-old gentleman,
Okay.
and whatever he's learned through all his experience and all his life, he shares to everyone without any question and any doubt. There is no trade secret or any secret that he actually keeps behind, which he doesn't pass on to others. So that's how he actually works. So yes, he's actually guiding us in all the processes. And as I told you, he's multidisciplinary. He actually brings a lot of other artists also at the same time. Like for handloom, we have people coming from different regions to for practice for different sessions, and he himself is a master of pottery, hand wheeling, and again for ceramic casting, he's a master. He's basically from Indian Art College, um, 1980s batch, so we can understand the quality of work he does. So, he's that person, and he actually helps us in the complete training program.
So, okay, so that's very interesting. And it sounds very nice to hear that you have professionals and really experienced people to spread their knowledge and spread their knowledge and experience and learnings with local people who would now have the opportunity to learn from this program that you're offering. So, has this resulted in any business opportunities for the local people? Have you seen anybody? I mean, I'm sure they must benefit a lot from this, but can you give us a few examples of people who may have benefited immensely from this program?
Uh, yes, people have benefited because we started this program, let's say 5 6 years back,
Okay.
and we are very new to this program, and basically it is basically for the localites, and we really don't promote it in that way because
Of course.
from day one we were really certain about our aim or goal, that is promoting the local areas around people, around the community, the local
Mm.
community. So let's say we have a nice gentleman who have been associated in the weaving process from day one. His previous profession was making fish nets, which we call as jal. kind of nets which actually there are basically heavy metal pieces on the base of the net, and you need to spread it along, and it actually opens up and it
Yes.
falls. It's basically for a single person fishing. We have already,
Okay.
I'm sure you must have seen
Yeah.
this kind of net. So he used to manufacture those nets. What I mean, manufacture, he used to do it, repair and make some pieces maybe, and then sell it off. So previously, what we understood was that it's doing business, but with a lot of hardship. So when we actually told him that you can, because he had the skill and he was really interested once we were putting in something like that, he used to actually come down every day to see what was happening out of curiosity, because he could see things, because they were when we are talking about handloom, and those are fishing nets, those are made of nylon, these are made of cotton. So he could somewhere connect, and he was the first person who came in. Now till date he actually comes every 10-15 days for his practice session. He himself comes on his own. Now we are really happy that he himself have established himself as a weaver. Now he gets requests from different places around Kolkata for small sessions, and we are really happy for his outcome. And at the same time, whatever progress he does in our workshop, let's say not the workshop, perhaps on the setup, he himself displays it on our display area, and whenever it is sold, we call him directly so that he can directly interact with the guest and sell off his beautiful piece. That is how. That is one of the success story, but that is one of the success story. But there is another success story that I would really like to highlight. That previously, from the region, people were not really understanding the motto of our purpose, why we wanted to put this kind of setup, and what kind of benefits they would get from it. Because these kind of investment, these kind of thing, what I mean investment comes at a cost.
Okay.
Government does show a lot of, they provide a lot of, government do provide a lot of benefits, a lot of infrastructure, but where they lack is basically is a one-on-one session of training these people.
Okay.
So once this person, Mr. Jagdish, actually understood this process, that how closely he worked with an artist, and he understood the process and how easy it was, and then how it changed his lifestyle through the word of mouth. It got conveyed in the village,
Oh,
and
wow.
small people and small children, they don't they just come for small sessions whenever they want. They just make a call that can we practice something here and there,
That's
and
lovely.
we have set up a small looms for them, for just for fun, because you can't make things or put the final step in front of the children. So we have made small looms for them to play and explore. In case if it interests them, they can always practice. So they do come there. We sometimes have clay modeling sessions, and we have some drawing sessions. Small things here and there happens every now and then.
That sounds really lovely. And it's great to see that as a business, you're trying to do something to give back to the community and for the benefit of the local community. So this has been really great, Ankan. And I hope this program flourishes and benefits more people in your community, and more people find success through it. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me here today. And it's been a pleasure. So thank you so much, Ankan.
Thank you so much. My pleasure is all mine. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and make sure to click the subscribe button at the top of the screen. You can see more videos from this playlist by clicking the video on the right, or click the video on the left to see all of our other videos.